I was born out of trouble. I started working with Lloyd when I was 16 going on 17. I interviewed him for my fanzine. I was a fan of, I was barely legal. Let's just say I was barely legal. But when I started working with him, I became of age. I was 18 years old. You know, so whenever I did this movie, totally legal. Totally legal.
Where's Mad Cowboy?
Mad Cowboy, come on, let's bring everyone out. Tony. We got. We got Tom Fault. Tom, come on, during this movie, you gotta come on down. Tom Fault.
Tom Fault, yes.
Also the creator of Newgrounds.com, also very formative to my childhood. TROMA and Newgrounds. As a 17-year-old, 18-year-old.
Tony, what do you recall from that movie?
All right, so my favorite thing of this movie is I showed up. If you own this DVD, you'll see an interview with me. I was going to go to work for TROMA, and I had my job interview. And I was like, I wore a Beastie Boys shirt, a pair of jeans, and I had my grandfather drive me to the train station. He goes, "You can't go to a job interview like this. You're going to a job interview?" I'm like, "I'm going to a job interview for TROMA in New York." I'm like, "Oh, you can't." Well, I gotta start earlier. Hold on.
You wore the right thing.
First of all, I'm drunk. So
show up in I was 17 years old doing intern interviews, and people show up in suits, and I'd be like, "You wore the right thing."
What I'm saying, first of all, I'm gonna start back. You two drunk idiots.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
You two drunk idiots.
Elder abuse.
To start my first TROMA thing, and I'm gonna end it, and I'm gonna get out of here.
An incident or something.
My mom said, "Trauma called," and then you're a big guy job trauma. I'm like, "Trauma? You mean trauma?" She said, "Yeah." And because back in the day, you used to go to the website, they'd be like, "You want to work for us? Come work for us." Boom, boom. So if you work for TROMA, again, who wants to work for TROMA here?
Woo!
Have you worked for TROMA?
You have worked for TROMA. I thought you were saying who wants to work. Who wants to
Who
work
wants?
for TROMA?
Go! Yeah. You all have to. If you're big here, you have to work for TROMA. Either way, so they're my first. If he wants to tell me one story where advertising manager since I see was this. I was a PA and I said, where do you want to work? I said, I want to work in wardrobe. Because I can see naked girls. That's what I mean? I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to see naked girls nonstop. And guess I got to wardrobe and Nevis. Remember Nevis? I don't know if you don't remember her name.
She said, "You're not going to see naked girls. You're going to get out of here."
Well, no.
It's going to be inappropriate.
No, it wasn't that. My first job was painting the ringer tees because they couldn't afford ringer tees, so we had to paint them. And then my next job was, all right, you have to dress somebody. I'm like, here we go. And it was Joe Fleischhaker. I walked in, I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And I'm like, oh. I undressed and dressed Joe Fleischhaker. In that movie,
That's a big job. That's a big job.
In that movie, in the Sizatazi, he's wearing my hat. I was like, you need a hat? He needs a hat. He needs a hat. I'm like, give to my hat, bro. So that's it. That was great. And that's what TROMA is. When you want to work at TROMA, it doesn't matter. You walk in doing this, 10 minutes later you're doing that, 45 minutes later you're doing this, next thing you know you're fucking Doug Sackman.
He ain't lying! He ain't lying!
If you fucking care enough.
Real
It's funny that
talk.
you say that. I was going to tell the same exact story, except I played a special student in the beginning of this movie, and I was good at, if you saw the beginning of it, I was good at saving the saliva in my mouth and foaming at the mouth, and Lloyd liked that for many different reasons, but we made it into the movie. And 25 years later,
You're still foaming at the
First of all,
mouth.
Doug, I remember you. I'm sorry, I'm drunk, I'm sorry. I remember me and you meeting up. We're in this school, we're in a real school. First of all, it's a real school.
September,
Me and you.
1999,
And you're like, I think it's
so hot.
I'm in the sky.
We have to move on. We can't talk about our personal experience. We're going back to Lloyd Kaufman over here.
Mad Cowboy and...
The Mad Cowboy. Let's stay up here. Tom Fault. I have not seen Tom Fault in a very long time. One of the last times I saw him was at the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, I didn't talk about it.
Actually, the first time I ever flew on an airplane was flying out to California to film at the Playboy Mansion for the TROMA scene, and Hugh Hefner was there. And,
What a horrible
Harry
life!
cut out of the movie. He actually was cut out of the movie.
it was nuts. It was a lot of stuff going on there. It was cool.
And you did the eye painting, got stabbed in the eyes. You had your eyes ripped out of your head.
Eyes, yeah. And I think you guys were doing a live web stream at the time.
Well,
that was
TROMA
really
was
high
ahead
tech.
of the time.
Yeah.
I was 17 going on 18 years old. I worked on this movie, and then Playboy Mansion stuff was after the fact. We came in, did the whole thing, and it was a live webcast where there were 22 cameras. You could see it live. It was before anything. It was with
It
your
was like a
friends.
real operation.
It was a whole operation. There were webcams live. You could see basically pixelated cable stuff kind of things. But like when it came out, it was ahead of the time. It was a very groundbreaking thing, and it's the basis of what we're doing now. All of this stuff. You see the themes in this movie, and TROMA in general. They don't go away. Like you see.
Like Facebook, except we ran out of money.
But
Mentioned
Yeah, it was sort of like the TROMA network was sort of like early internet community coming together, building out networks before everything consolidated into a few websites.
Unfortunately, we didn't have enough money. We didn't have enough money to keep going. But it was sort of a Facebook.
And the dot-com crash came, that kind of like...
well, it was a
The
whole
dot-com crash
thing.
came,
It was
yeah.
just.
Oh yeah, that was the other little problem.
It was a 2-year period that TROMA was ahead of the curve, and then it was just everything fell apart. Like it wasn't just TROMA, it was everything, So
It was dial up. I played dial up.
By the way, that's Frankie Bones, Philadelphia's own Frankie Bones. Anyway, you have some questions. Anybody have any questions for the distinguished panel?
Lloyd Kaufman,
Mike Fink.
specifically.
Mike Fink is here too, from a family member. Who has a question?
I
Yes,
have a
sir.
question in general. It was implied that parts 2 and 3 were retconned, which we're seeing a lot of now these days, and this seems to be
What was
Yeah,
the
the
2
start-
and 3 or what?
how it
They
how
stink? How dare you
parts
say
2
that?
Parts
But,
2
I
and 3 were
agree, 2
retconned,
and 3,
but
that's
when
so
they ignored
good.
parts 2 and 3, this one kind of threw that out there, right, at the beginning? And the
Yes, the fact that I
Where'd
didn't
that
think it
come
was
from?
my best work. What?
Where did that come from? Why did you decide to do that?
To badmouth the 2?
Yeah, 2 and 3.
Because I compromised 2 and 3.
Yeah.
I compromised because we had video deals.
Okay.
So I had to change a little, cut stuff out, and and I regret it. It was stupid.
It's ratings, also
Didn't help.
NBA rating stuff, right?
Yeah, the rating board also
More
made us
freedom
cut a
for
lot
this
of
one?
stuff out, and unfortunately, with this one, I think we cut it out and then we put it back in for the theaters.
I mean, I was there when this happened. It
The
was.
rating board, the MPAA rating board is one of the reasons that TROMA's probably the last independent movie studio. It's one of the reasons, because
Yeah.
they let Rambo, what is the one with Bruce Willis?
Die Hard?
The one with the buildings and Christmas.
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard has got all sorts of serious violence, and no problem, but we have cartoon violence. Everything had to be cut out, so.
Yeah. Well, it's double standards. It's
double
if
standard,
you have
yes.
the money to pay to
Double
play,
standards, yes.
you can do it. Otherwise, you gotta.
Also, we had to pay the MPAA to chop up our film. No, it's owned by the major studios, the Motion Picture Association of America. It's owned and operated by the
Privately.
studios.
It's a
The
pri-
purpose
private
of it is,
operating, yeah.
the purpose is to put the competition out of business. It's supposed to protect the public. It doesn't protect the public. It protects the elite, the oligopoly.
Oh, yeah.
Emily from TROMA.
Preach on, Lloyd. Preach on.
Question.
What's the question?
Can I take you mic? Yeah.
Come on down.
Yeah, you make it
If
easy.
we're talking about Citizen Toxie, the film, was there a scene or scenes from Citizen Toxie that were cut? That you
Excuse me? Were the scenes cut?
Actually, I did want to say something about this real quick.
I think there weren't, I just don't remember, I'm sorry. And
But if you don't remember,
there might be stuff.
this movie there was a there was a Zack Snyder cut of this movie. There was a 4.5 hour cut of this movie. And you do not remember
I
this.
don't remember.
Don't forget about where he won the Academy Award.
Well, he did win the Academy Award.
That was cut. I'm
No,
sorry.
that's in the movie. You missed it. You must have been drinking. It was in the movie. It wasn't in the movie. But there was a 4.5 hour
I did not win Academy Award, maybe he was in the movie.
And Lloyd Kaufman, you did
never won anything.
say, you did say at one point, this could have been Toxic Avenger 4 and 5. It could have been 2 movies, because it was so long, there was so much we wanted to pack in there.
Honestly, I don't know.
And the writers, Trent Hagan, Patrick Cassidy said, no, we're not gonna do 2 movies, we condense it in there. Because there was a point where this was going to be.
Volume 1 and Volume
Who
2.
knew?
I was there.
Thank you, Doug.
But in a good way, it came
Good
together.
question. Very good
Yeah.
question. Yes.
Was
Thank you,
there a
Evan.
follow-up question? I didn't mean to.
Emily,
I don't have a phone.
There was a lot to unpack in this movie.
Anybody else have a question?
I think a lot of people have questions, they're not sure what the right question is to ask at this point. They're kind of
Tom
puzzled.
Folk was asking about, is there any status about the new movie, the reimagining of the Toxic Avenger? It's been filmed. The filming is done. Legendary, the people who were paying for it. It's a totally different. It's Toxic Avenger, but a different Toxic Avenger, and it's like $1 billion Toxic Avenger. And the gang that made it also made.
Jurassic World.
Oh, they did so Jurassic World too. What else? Legendary.
Well, Legendary did Godzilla vs. Kong, they did, what is it, Detective Pikachu. I think they did the big one is Pacific Rim, the whole Pacific Rim franchise, but also just, I mean, they're one of the top 3 or 4 kind of indie mainstream studios. You know?
they're very mainstream.
They're mainstream but indie at the same time. I would say not indie. But
They have major,
they have the backing, but they're pulling in the projects they want to do, you know, so. I mean, they got Lloyd Kaufman's back, they got TROMA's back, and I have not seen the movie, but from a TROMA fan who has seen a test screening of the movie, have you seen it? You have seen it. I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about this movie at all. I'm not going to say anything.
Tell us the truth.
And I didn't want to get it ruined, but one of my friends who saw it said, it does TROMA justice. It's unbelievable. It's just like, it's like the original Toxic Avenger in this day and age in a different way. It's not Lloyd.
Now,
It's not Lloyd, but it is, they're doing the best, I think, can you say this? It's the best interpretation of the Toxic Avenger you could imagine.
Doug.
Probably, I would think.
The main guy actually came. The main guy actually came to the tattoo convention.
Oh, make it, or that.
So the main guy,
Make it come out.
Yeah, came to the tattoo convention. What was it? I think 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh,
I have his business card.
yes.
And
But that was-
Lloyd asked me to talk to him about why Toxic Avenger is such a fan-based movie. Why it's not like mainstream, why the fans made Toxic Avenger and TROMA what it is. So we had a long talk about the fans. You need to do the fans justice. So I believe, I haven't seen it, but he promised that he is not going to do the fans bad. That the fans will love this movie.
and that's why I heard.
So they actually came to fuck about us, which big movies normally don't. They just care about the money. But they're like, it's all about the fans, so we don't want to fuck y'all over.
That was Alex, who was with the legendary money people. But Matt, the director is named Macon Blair, and he's young and fearless and very talented. He's only made one movie, but he works with.
He was in Green Room. He was
But he wrote Green Room. But he works with Elijah Wood. They grew up together, and he's terrific. Unfortunately, there's something new. I've been doing this for 50 years. In the last year, they asked people, you have to sign a non-disclosure thing.
Can't talk about it.
And they owe us money. So if I say anything, they won't pay us probably. So, any excuse to, Hollywood rules, the mainstream, we've never had a good experience. This might be the first one. But anyway, that's why I can't say too much about it.
We understand. We
But
totally understand.
you've got.
But we're all going to be in line to see it, right?
No, he's saying don't say no.
No, it's all right, see it, but don't do it. We don't need to do that. Does anybody know who's playing Toxic? Have you heard who's going to play the Toxic Avenger? Peter Dinklage, yes.
Yeah.
So that's certainly a different Toxic, right? It's
He's gonna wear stilts.
Macon Blair has made this movie his own Toxic Avenger. So I guarantee you it's going to be terrific. I just wish I could talk to you a little bit about it, but he definitely kept the trauma aroma very sincere. The other little problem behind the scenes is Legendary was distributed by Warner Brothers, and now they've switched to Sony. So there's probably
Discovery or
what?
Warner Discovery.
All right, Warner, whatever it is. But the point is, they left Warner's and now it's with Sony. So who knows what's going to happen? But hopefully they'll clean it up.
Well, I mean, I honestly, you've seen what happened with fan stuff. Justice League, Sonic fans, our Troma fans around the world, shake this thing out because you have to see it. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. Any other questions for Lloyd Kaufman?
Just in case you have a Toxic 5 in the can somewhere, I hear a rumor you have a can.
There is a script for Toxic Avenger 5, but more importantly, Kabuki Man 2 is shooting. Lloyd has approved the script that is, still in the works. I need to get the full approval, but you're close, right? You like it? You like the script?
Well, Doug and Brandon Basham, who wrote the hashtag Shakespeare Shitstorm, my latest blog.
Latest and greatest.
If you haven't seen that, you have to see it. I've seen it 3 times. You have to see it. It's amazing. It's just fucking
Oh my gosh. Everyone is waiting for the DVD release of Hash. We're here watching the movie.
Blu-ray.
20 years old. We're watching it together.
But what was it? What were we talking about?
Kabuki Man Return?
Yes, with April Wallen, who was a Troma from many years ago, has written some novels,
San Diego Comic-Con.
but she's been published a couple of times.
Very
So
much
we've got a good writing team, and
Yeah.
Doug is the Kabuki of
Kabuki Spirit.
Doug Stockman, ladies and gentlemen, then we'll go downstairs. We can have a talk.
That's some areas of the whole thing. We got a bar downstairs, we got a bar up here. Any other questions or any comments?
Tom Pope.
Tom Pope, gotta talk about Tom Pope a little bit. I met Tom Pope when I was 7 or 8 years old. I watched Newgrounds. I was obsessed with all animations, and you're still going. You're still keeping it going. So you're 25 years. You're half as old as Lloyd's Troma here now. Literally, Tom Pope is. I would say, what's Newgrounds? What's the anniversary of Newgrounds?
Mine.
Over 25. So over 25. 28 years. Oh my God. So I started with Newgrounds and Troma.
Thank you.
And you're 28 years, 50 years over here. Filmmaking, flash animation, like internet, groundbreaking internet. Like you.